Hello, Mrs. Corbett here. I'm going to take you through the first revision method, which is chunking. Chunking is fantastic for taking large pieces of information and breaking them down into smaller information so that you can recall them later. It is brilliant to help you make flashcards, blurting, revise for exams. It's basically one of the most perfect methods, and it's really simple. You've just got to start practicing. So let me take you through it. The benefit of chunking is that it takes large bits of information and makes it more palatable. So therefore, you can retain it easier, you can recall it, download it when you're in that exam conditions. It helps you learn faster, it helps your memory work better and increases the capacity of memory you have, and it really improves your long-term recall. And it has a structured process, which means that you can repeat it again and again and again, and it works. Another cool thing about chunking is you don't actually need very much. You need a source material, that's the thing you're revising. A revision guide is perfect for this, or your notes from class. You need some paper, or paper in a folder is pretty good, or a notebook so you can keep all of your chunks together. But essentially, if you've got something to revise from, something to write with, and something to write on, you're good to go for chunking. Step 1 of chunking. You've got to read your source material. Very important step. People tend to rush this and they skip over words and they don't read it properly. Now, whilst you're reading, it's important to do it slowly and guiding yourself, perhaps using a ruler under each line or using your finger and reading 3 words at a time. You learn that in primary school. Slow down your reading. Whilst you're reading, once you've read something and you think that seems really important, jot down that point. It should take you around 7 minutes to read a whole page of a revision guide, and from that whole page you should be able to gain 8, 9, 10 key sentences, the most important sentences on that page. Jot those down in a list, and that takes you on to step 2. So you've done your reading, that's step 1. Step 2 is to now make sure you have got your key pieces of information in a list. So I said between 8 and 10. 9 is a nice number because you can block them into 3 groups of 3. It could be a diagram, it could be a list, it doesn't matter, but they need to be written down. So once you've done your reading, make sure you have your list of around 9 key points. The whole of this should have taken you around 10 minutes for that one page in your revision guide so far. Step 3, you've got your list of your key points, maximum 9 or 10 of those. What you're going to do is take the first 3 and you are going to memorize them. It could be a diagram you're memorizing. Spend 2 minutes looking at them, repeating them in your brain, memorizing them. So you're going to take just the first 3 and you're going to repeat them for 2 minutes in your brain. Just memorize them, memorize them, memorize them. Step 4, those 3 points that you have been memorizing again and again and again for 2 minutes, you're going to cover them up and you're going to write them down again, and you're going to try and get them word for word or diagram for diagram, keyword for keyword, as much as you can. The first couple of times you do this, you will panic and you will start having to think, I need to look back. You'll start doubting your memory. Have a look maybe the first couple of times, but once you've done this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, you will be great at it. So you're going to cover up your first 3, you're going to rewrite them on a different piece of paper or on the other side of the piece of paper, just to see how you're getting on with that memorizing. And then you're going to give yourself a big dose of dopamine by checking that you were correct and giving them a big tick if you were correct word for word, that you've got that bit rewritten down again and again. Now you've read it, you've written it, you've memorized it, and you've recopied it. You're doing well. Give yourself a big tick and a smiley face. Now, you've still got another potentially 6 points to memorize. So you're going to do it again for the next 3. Don't do any more than 3. Your brain needs a little bit of space and capacity. You're going to memorize the next 3 for 2 minutes. Put a timer on. Memorize them, memorize them, memorize them. Then you're going to cover them up. Then you are going to rewrite them. And you're going to give yourself a mark out of 3 or 2, depending on if it's a small piece of information or not. And you're going to see how you're getting on. It's now time for the final flourish. So what you're going to do is you're going to rewrite the entire thing, okay, in just one paragraph. You have had 6 minutes of memorizing, 6 minutes of writing. You're well practiced now. You're going to try and rewrite the whole lot. This is your chunk that you can then commit to your memory for this revision topic. You have now got a chunk. And once you do the next page of your revision guide, and then the next page, and then the next page, and then the next page, you're going to have loads of chunks, some of which relate to one another, some of which don't. The ones that do relate to each other, you can now start grouping them together. You can then make a blurting mind map out of those. You can use those chunks to make flashcards or to ask questions about them or to verbally check you understand that topic. You could do what this person here has done and help make a 6-mark question. So that's for science, for example. They could also be used to make the larger questions for English, for the poetry, for topics in history. You can then use that information to revise and see how much better you are at doing exam questions. You now have a basis of information that you have uploaded to your brain, you've processed in your brain, and you can download it when you need it. Keep practicing those chunks, keep practicing putting those chunks together, keep practicing repeating them, use them for other types of revision, but that whole practice of being disciplined and still and memorizing and covering and checking and repeating, it works. Now, in my guide to revision, I've put this step list so that you can sort of tick off as you go, just as a handy guide of how to remember to do chunking so you don't have to keep watching this video. Give it a go. Let me know how you get on. If you produce loads of chunks, I would love to see them. Please send them to my email address or bring them in and show me. I would love to see a notebook or a folder full of chunks. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your revision. We believe in you.